Okay, this is Monday, about February the 19th, I believe. It's welcome back to the Grande Pacific, and today we're going to talk about recall button on an NCE control system. Had some questions about this. I have a video that covers this, but I think it's embedded in another video, so we're just going to talk about recall. On the NCE system, that button right there, recall, it has to do with being able to control more than one engine with a controller while you're at any single time. The system allows up to 6 recalls. And the next thing we're going to talk about is how do you set the number of recalls, because this railroad right now, all controllers are set to 2. You can have as many as 6 engines in your controller. Right now, it's set to 2. Right now, the engines, the Rio Grande GP40 sitting in front of the station, it's consistent set of engines. It's set to 31, the elite engine's 3121. And if I push the recall button, you'll see the next one 0. I mean, all zeros. There's no, I don't have an engine recalled on that position. If I press it again, it goes back to 3121. Okay, so the point here is, and the example is, in this picture you see a set of engines, and let's just say that's the road engines on a manifest freight. They pulled up at Apex, and there's work to do here, and you can use the road engines to break off cars or whatever, but it also may be necessary to use a switcher. The switcher, the KCS switcher, for example. So hitting the recall button, and then you go to the next recall, and it's showing zeros. Then you hit select loco, okay, enter loco number, and that number on the switcher is 4365. And we hit enter. Now, and we have control of that engine. Okay? So if I hit reverse, and you see that engine's moving back in behind the depot. Now, if I wanted to do something with the road engines, all I have to do is hit the recall button. All right, and it goes to 3121. All right, and we roll it forward, and they're moving. Okay, it's just that simple. I have a very good reason why I have it set at 2. And that is, it simply, it eliminates mistakes. Now, somebody asks, well, when you hit recall, they saw 0. See where it says loco 4365, it says 0. In all actuality, before this manifest freight leaves Apex, the correct procedure, at least with the NCE system, and somewhat applies also in Digitrax, in Digitrax you would need to dispatch that engine. In NCE, you're going to want to go select loco 0 and enter. Now there is no loco in that position on the controller. So if someone picks up this controller, turns it on, or plugs it in, and hits recall, there can't be a mistake of rolling the throttle or something where that engine would move. So you always, whenever you finish with engines, and this is true of Digitrack also, it doesn't make any difference. Digitracks, you want to dispatch the engine, which takes it out of the queue in Digitracks. And that's a bigger issue with Digitracks than it is with NCE, but because you could fill up that bank of numbers and it causes you big problems. NCE, it's just a good idea no matter what you're doing. Even if I go back here, you see where 3121 is. If I'm finished working with those engines, then, and that's the end of the day for them, you still hit select loco 0, enter, and then you see zeros. So now if I hit recall, all you see is zeros, both positions. Let's go one more step further. You need to know how to set the number of recalls, and I can only cover NCE here. I don't remember exactly how you do it on the or what the procedure is as far as Digitracks. So right now this one's set at 2. Okay, to set the number of recalls on a cab, and you're in the main screen, you go to the program escape key down here and you start pressing program, and you get to assign, set system, use program track, set command station, set cab parameters. Then you press enter. Okay, and it says number of recalls. Your options here are 1 to 6. Okay, so it'd be 01, 02, 03, 04, 05, 06. Don't know what I guess you could say no. Well, not too sure. We're not going to experiment though. This system here, and I explained earlier, is set to 2. So you just hit enter, and you could say yes, clear recalls, but which it's irrelevant, and that only applies to this cab. Go. So again, we don't have any recalls. So if I say select loco and I go 3121, enter, and I hit recall, the next one's empty, okay, and then it comes back to 3121. So there's 2 recalls. So that's the recall button on engines. That's how that works. And it's a useful tool, particularly when you're on an operational railroad like this one is, and you have road engines and you come up someplace to a local area to switch, and you want to use the local switcher and leave your big 3-axle truck engines somewhere, and particularly if, say, you don't have a facing move or a behind the engine move, trailing move, then it comes handy to go get that switcher. Another thing here, a lot of the guys have learned, when they roll up to some area to work it, it's best to take the switcher and go do the pickups first and get the pickups out the way, then they have a place to set out cars. So anyway, just hope this little tip on the NCE system will give you a helping hand.